Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, unfortunately, we can no longer say that there's only one cruise ship affected. So until recently, the only cruise ship that was affected by all the stuff that's going on out there was the cruise ship in Japan from Princess Cruise Lines. The Westerdam turned out to be cleared. The other cruise ships that were stopped turned out to be cleared. The Ada cruise ship turned out to be cleared. Norwegian Cruise Line turned out to be cleared. They were all cleared. But now we're coming into some things where a small cruise ship in Egypt that only holds like 150 passengers, well, they have some people on board. And of course, right now, the possible worst case scenario is the Princess cruise ship off the coast of San Francisco now, as 21 people have been said, yep, it's there. So what do we do now? Right? It was a whole different story when it was being handled in Japan by their authorities, and people were kept on the cruise ship for 14 days and then hospitalized, etc. But now it's here in North America, it's here in the United States, it's off our western coast, and what do we do now? Right now, authorities are looking at sending them to a more of a commercial port than the main port that they would normally get off at. Then they're also going to test every passenger that's on board before releasing them. But here's the thing, right? Just because today the person's okay doesn't mean they won't have it tomorrow. Because it can, we don't know this period of time that it might take to actually take effect. So what, they're going to test them and stand them at the game playing and say, okay, go, and away you go, right? It's one of those things. There's a waiting period, and during that waiting period, things can happen. So it's a very, very tricky situation for our officials now to handle. And should everybody on that cruise ship be brought to an area like an abandoned military base with housing and put into a place like that? Or do we need to build something like they did in China when it first did, that one big hospital where they built it in like 4 days? Is that what we need to do? There has to be something other than just releasing everybody back into the general population. And it's becoming to the point now where people are so worried in the United States that they have started to talk to the NBA basketball teams and saying, maybe you should shut down your stadiums and any concerts and things like that should be shut down. And people are going, well, wait a minute, that's a little bit of overreacting, right? But yes, it is, and no, it isn't, because there are stupid people out there. And a lot of the trouble that this is being caused by is by stupid people. So if you're traveling and you're in Italy or in Iran and you come down with flu-like symptoms and a cold and you fly back to North America, you're a stupid person because you're risking other people. Not only that, here's an example of what happened just a few days ago. A person who has been tested positive was under house segregation. Stay in your house for 14 days. Please don't go out in the public, etc. He left that to attend a private party function on the weekend and went to a place that was invitee only with about 170 guests, about 40 employees working there. And now other people from that event have caught it, because this person broke his own quarantine that he was told to stay there because he's a stupid, selfish idiot. And there's no other word about it. I mean, he already knew. It's not like he didn't know. He knew and purposely went there. As far as I'm concerned, he should be brought up on charges, because there are laws out there that you can't willfully endanger other people. And that's exactly what that dummy did. So is the reaction out there? Yes. And so here's another thing I'm getting a lot of. A lot of people are saying, Don, would you cruise right now? Should I cancel? And hey, stop bringing nothing but bad news about the cruise industry. And other people are saying, hey, you're not being worried enough about the cruise industry. So I'm getting it from both sides, but here's my honest opinion. Would I cruise? Yes, I will still cruise. I just came back from a cruise Saturday. So yes, I will still cruise. But that's my personal decision. I'm not telling anybody else out there that, oh, you should cruise, don't worry about it. It all goes by everyone's own individual health needs, right? If I have a respiratory problem or I have a lower immune system or I'm an elderly person, yes, I might postpone my cruises until this is all over with. If I'm a relatively young, healthy person, I'm not as endangered of this, right? So it's everybody's personal choice. Are you at risk going cruising? I think the same as you are at risk going anywhere right now, because all those other things that are popping up are away from cruise ships. It's not from cruise ships. It's coming from everywhere else. So unless you're going to lock yourself in your house until fall of next year, we have to live with this and we have to figure out how to get around it. So would I still cruise? Absolutely. Should you cruise? That's your personal decision, and I respect your decision. If you're nervous about cruising, by all means, if you're going to be nervous on a cruise ship and not enjoy yourself, why go? Right? But cruising is something that's kind of like in my blood. It's something that I love to do. It's my hobby. It's my passion. So I will still cruise, but I'm fairly confident in my health. So even if I came down with something, I'm pretty healthy. I feel I would have no problem getting over it. But if I had any kind of health issues, that's a different story, right? So please don't take my word for it. Discuss it with your doctors, discuss it with your family, and decide for yourselves, okay? So I just don't want anyone to come back to me and say, you told me to go on a cruise. No, you asked me what I would do, and this is what I would do. So yeah, it's not a fun time anywhere right now. Can you imagine no NBA playoffs with fans? Can you imagine March Madness with no fans? Baseball games with no fans. The NHL playoffs, no fans. That will be crazy. You might as well just shut everything down and lock everybody up in your houses, because it's going to, get worse before it gets better, unfortunately. So, that's where we stand. We'll see what they do. We still don't know what they're actually going to do with the people on the Princess cruise ship right now. All we know is that there are people on board now. And so we have to watch the situation, and I can't see them keeping them all on the cruise ship. I really can't. But I also can't see them just releasing everybody into the general population after just a single test. Strange. It's going to be really, really, really interesting to see how they handle this situation. The very first test that Mike Pence has since being put in charge of all of United States as far as the health is concerned for this particular threat. So we'll see. Hopefully everything works out, and everybody out there on the Princess cruise ships, please be safe and do what the doctors tell you to do, and don't break any of the rules on board, because you're just endangering other people. I hope you appreciate this news story. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.